Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you a simple fruiting chamber which takes advantage of Dr. Ed's Diaper Tek. I've been using this recently to fruit my mushrooms and I'm really happy with how it performs. It's a simple chamber that provides a great climate for your growing fruits, as well as being cheap to construct, easy to use, and is a great fruiting solution for those who live in smaller spaces or don't have the room for a tent. So with that said, let's build this chamber and talk a little about its features. For this chamber, we'll need a large tub, something with plenty of height to allow the mushrooms to grow big and tall. We'll also need some micropore tape, some kind of rack or trivet. We'll need something to make the holes in the tub. I have a drill with this circular cutting blade. And as well as this, we'll also need some diapers or incontinence pads. Toilet training pads for pets work just as well. The construction of this fruiting chamber is really very simple. First, I'll make 4 holes in the tub. 2 opposing holes at the bottom and another 2 opposing holes at the top. Then I'll cover these with micropore tape. These will function as a filter for both fresh air exchange. The placement will allow fresh oxygen to enter from the top and displace the heavier CO2 through the bottom. And as well as this, they will also provide a barrier against bugs and flies and that kind of thing. Next, we simply place our super absorbent diapers or pet training pads in the bottom of the tub, and then over the top of that our rack or trivet. Add enough water to fully hydrate the pads. Any excess water that isn't absorbed can simply be tipped out. And that's pretty much it, a simple fruiting chamber that makes great use of Dr. Ed's Diaper Tek. The diapers will supply a constant source of humidity. The filters will provide constant fresh air exchange. This will induce pinning as surface moisture evaporates from the cakes, triggering the formation of primordia. The filter also acts as a barrier to contaminants, as I mentioned earlier, preventing things like mites and fruit flies and gnats from invading your grow. And the rack allows you to place your shoebox or cake or BRF cake in a suspended position above any CO2 hanging out at the bottom of the chamber. This will help to grow nice fat fruits with minimal fuzz. And there you have it, a nice, passive and fully closed system for fruiting your mushrooms. For a long time, I've been using a shotgun terrarium to fruit smaller batches of mushrooms. My space is limited, so I'll often grow from BRF cakes or small shoe boxes. Unfortunately, I haven't the space for a nice big tent at the moment. And I've found these shotgun terrariums do a great job for a few reasons. I don't really like lining my shoe boxes with plastic bags. It's annoying to cut them down to the right size, and the bag prevents me from watching the cake colonise, which is useful for identifying any signs of contamination. However, not lining your tubs can lead to masses of side pins, which can be very tedious to harvest. To avoid all of this, I usually remove the cake from the shoebox once it's fully colonised and leave it inside the shotgun terrarium to fruit. The side pins can then grow out and reach their full potential, and I can harvest them without too much fuss. There are, however, a lot of problems with the shotgun terrarium. The holes allow for bugs and such to get inside, which is never ideal, and the perlite can be a pain to work with as well. It needs to be cleaned and re-sterilised if you want to use it across numerous grows, and it can also dry out pretty quickly if you don't keep a keen eye on things, leaving your substrate to dry out and your fruits to abort, which means the terrarium can require frequent misting, especially if you live in a drier climate. So with all of that in mind, I thought I'd test out both chambers head to head and see which performs better. And to that end, I have here with me 2 grow kits from a local vendor. I'm going to place one of these into each chamber and we'll watch how they fruit. I figure these are nice and professionally made and much more consistent with the cakes I make are, so it should provide for a fairer test between the 2 chambers. Let's find out. Okay, so this is day 3. And here we have the shotgun terrarium. And here we can see some hyphae and primordia starting to show themselves. Very nice. And here's this Diaper Tek chamber. And again, we can see some primordia and hyphae starting to form. Day 8. And we have some pins. Look at that. Lovely. A rich covering of Primordia and Hyphae. This cake will produce a lot of mushrooms. And in the Diaper Tek chamber on day 8, it's much the same story. We can see plenty of Primordia and even our first pins. Day 9 now. And look at this. Lots and lots and lots of pins. Fantastic. The shotgun terrarium really does work well, as you can see. And here again, the Diaper Tek. Lots of pins. I think there's greater coverage though on the cake. Fantastic. This is looking really good. Beautiful. All right, day 10. And look at that. In the shotgun terrarium, the mushrooms are really starting to take off there. Seems to be mostly concentrated in this cluster you can see here, but I'm pretty happy with that. And in the Diaper Tek chamber, again the same story, but the pins are covering a much greater surface area, which is fantastic to see. Nicer surface conditions perhaps, certainly a greater coverage. Magnificent. And it's day 11, the next day. And look at that, some nice, nearly mature fruits. Beautiful. Just what I want to see. But now we need to mist. It's quite dry. The perlite has dried out, unfortunately. It's all good. And in this chamber, masses of mushrooms. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A greater yield than the shotgun terrarium, I believe. This is 2 hours later. It's now time to harvest. The caps are starting to open. Some lovely mushrooms. All harvested. No aborts to be seen in that cake. I'm going to harvest the Diaper Tek cake as well. There it is after harvest. No real aborts. So some final thoughts. Both chambers, as you saw, work quite well. The Diaper Tek chamber fruited about 20% more, yielded 20% more than the shotgun terrarium. Yeah, they both seem to work quite well, but as I mentioned previously, the shotgun terrarium is a little bit more hands-on. You've got to mist it. It actually dried out about 2 or 3 times over the course of that first flush, requiring plenty of misting. Not so much in the Diaper Tek chamber. It's much more passive. The diapers are nowhere near running out of water. Just on that, I'd recommend changing them after each flush, just so you don't have any bacteria or anything growing in there. But yeah, much more passive system. I did notice this morning during a second flush of those cakes, some little fruit flies were inside the shotgun terrarium, so that's something else to consider, as I've mentioned earlier in the video. It is a drawback with the shotgun terrarium. Bugs and things can get inside. So there you have it, a new chamber I've been fruiting some mushrooms with. I'm really happy with it. I've got to thank Dr. Ed again for putting me on to using diapers to supply humidity. That's something I don't think I ever would have considered myself, so thanks mate. Go check out his channel. He's got a lot of really good in-depth tips and tricks on growing mushrooms. He's a really knowledgeable guy. There's a lot to be gained from his videos. All right, with all that said, thanks so much for watching and sticking around if you made it this far. If you get some use out of these videos and you enjoy them, please don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Legends, cheers.